suppose it's time for an update on what series are we watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's Breaking Bad or Sons of Anarchy?
Watched a couple of episodes of Sons of Anarchy, but still on series 3. Breaking Bad, no progress. I did, however, start watching Sky Rojo.
Ah, right. Okay, well, that's what I'm going to give feedback on. Oleg, what are you?
Oh, and I finished Drive to Survive as well. The
Oh,
third
did
series.
you? Oh, well done. Well done.
I've got stuff to say on that.
Okay.
How are you getting on, Oleg?
It's pretty bleak on my side. The only thing that I watched, and I watched it yesterday, right? Was Nobody. I don't know if you guys heard about this new movie release.
No.
Nobody, and I think it's called Riders of Justice. It's a Danish movie.
Okay. Well, tell us what it's about. Is it a series or a movie?
It's a movie. Both are movies. So
Okay.
Nobody is quite. It's like it's already hitting the screens now. It starts off very like typical middle America, typical guy, typical family, and then this dude gets robbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he has a chance of actually disarming and maybe capturing both of the robbers, that broke into his house. But like he doesn't do it, and then like the next thing is like everyone's making fun of him for being a wuss. It's like he had a chance. Even his son tackled one of the robbers, and then he was standing behind the other one with a golf club. He had a chance to actually knock him out, right? But like he didn't take it, and the robbers escaped, took his watch, took some of his money, and it's like everyone's making fun of him. And then
is this the long story or the short story?
This is just the basic synopsis.
It's basic.
The basic synopsis. I might not have to watch the movie.
Don't confuse it with a storyboard.
And then you realize that the guy was actually a hitman and was like really good at what he does. And it's like, and then the story evolves. I'm not gonna no spoilers.
Okay.
I think
Yeah. Text.
He was an accountant.
Okay.
He was the last guy that you'll see because they used to send this guy in to reconcile things.
All right.
It's a bit like Breaking
reconcile.
Bad,
where
a science teacher turns into something else.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, I decided to watch Sky Rojo.
How was it?
I watched. Okay, so there were 8 episodes. They are half an hour each. I didn't realize they were half an hour each.
Yeah, they're short.
Yeah, they're short, so you get through it quite quickly. It's still 4 hours worth of watching, but I just love the way that it's being made. The sort of like cinematography, or it's just like, and the way that they've packaged it, and the way that the storyline goes, how it chops backwards and forwards and explains. As they're going through the episode, they're going through a bit of the history of, where the people come from and how they got to where they are and all that kind of stuff. And it's quite, I suppose, quite graphic in places, which is almost like, I would put it in like sort of like the Tarantino sort of ballpark in terms of the sort of graphics that you see. And I just realized how desensitized I am to that kind of stuff when watching these programs, because I started watching it with my daughter last night. Rewatching. Yeah, check your eyes, dude. And like halfway into after the first episode, I said to her, listen, okay, man, this wasn't such a good idea, because it's quite graphic in terms of the violence. Right. So anyway, but yeah, I think it's very well made. I see the second season's coming out now, in June, July. So I can't wait for that. And the soundtrack is pretty good. They've got some really, really good music in the as part of the soundtrack of the show. So so I would recommend watching it.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Yeah,
And I laughed. It's funny in places.
It is
it's quite
funny
comical in places. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's always the problem with a new series. They have to, you have to introduce the characters, give them context, history, so you can see how it all pieces together and how the story evolves.
Yeah.
And that can be hard. So you as a producer, you have to, well, as a writer, you need to figure out how much to showcase or not.
Yeah, and the
So
sequence
the
that you do
story
it
doesn't.
in.
So,
So
you know, and it's very hard in a half an hour episode.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the guy that made it is actually the same guy as the guy who made Money Heist.
Yeah,
Same
exactly.
Yeah,
same
Exactly.
producer.
It seems like
but
he's got his
don't-
shit together.
yeah, and I agree with everything you've said. It's a bit Tarantino. I like there's good music, the visual effects, the cinematography is pretty good. And I was trying to draw parallels. I haven't finished watching the first series,
Mm.
but I was trying to draw parallels with Money Heist. And I think
The cinematography is definitely similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so.
Because you know with these producers, they like certain type of shots. They like certain type of like camera angles. They like certain type of when the camera basically revolves around the scene in a certain way. Like those are like little signature elements.
Yeah. I just thought there would be some sort of commonality in the type of characters you'd have.
Oh well,
Yeah, but it's completely it's different. It's
yeah, it's
something new,
completely different.
and I think maybe it needs to be.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I think in terms of the way, because I mean, Money Heist also does do that, where they go back to explain where the people came from, or how they got to where
I mean,
they,
they're
or
even
when they were
doing that in
planning.
the last series, is right?
Sorry,
Even in later on, it's not just the first series. They do it throughout all the series.
yeah. Well, I
More and
wouldn't
more
know because I
context.
didn't finish watching Money Heist.
But I think it's cool the way they do it because, like, with the Money Heist, they don't do it like just at random. Like a scene would drop back to they would drop it in the specific moments to basically tell you like, oh, why is this character like this by referring to his past scene.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So I look. My view is it's better than Money Heist.
Okay. I'll definitely give it a
I
shot.
think the story is a lot tighter than Money Heist. I've said this before. I just found the storyline of Money Heist a bit loose in places. Gaps in the story. This is like, and I think maybe because it's a half an hour episode, they don't have time for shit. Like they pack it in. It's hard hitting. It's fast moving.
Why do you think they made it a shorter episode?
I don't know. I must maybe have a look up and see why they did it that way. I'm trying to see if it's the same writers between Money Heist. You see, it's different writers. It's different script writers for the Sky Rojo. It's supposed to be so. What this is, I didn't realize this, but Sky Rojo translated is actually the red leatherette. That's what it means. Huh? Check that out. I thought it was
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Google Translate, dude. Anyway, yeah. So I would recommend watching it. I'm busy watching it the second time.
Wow. Was it that good?
Yeah, it was that good. I think what happens is also because, like, I'm watching it in Spanish with English subtitles. I do think you tend to miss a little bit. So now that I know a little bit more or less about what the story is about and whatever, now I'm, watching it again and picking up different things. Yeah, but it starts off pretty hectic. The first episode definitely sets the tone for the rest of the series.
So it was like, did it go like over the top in terms of like violence, nudity, etc., etc.? Does it check all the boxes?
Like the nudity was the nudity is there, but I mean it's not like it's more leaves quite a bit to your imagination in some places, right?
Okay.
I mean there's nudity, but it's like they like you do use your imagination quite a bit because they do leave it up to you.
Okay, cool. So
I mean
it's
It's age restriction is 16, so it's not like it's
Seems
not
fine.
like yeah, seems fine. Yeah, walk in the park. Eh? But yeah, the first episode.
This is like.
Yeah, no, the first episode definitely sets the tone for the rest of the series.
Good family viewing.
Yeah. How many episodes have you done, Lester? Just out of curiosity. Oh, why are you muted, dude? You muted.
I think we lost him. Yeah.
No, he's muted.
I think 4 maybe.
You're on mute. Sorry. Yeah, 4.
Yeah. So I'm at the point where they've gone on the bus.
All right.
Yeah, I'm on the end of that episode. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the end of episode 3, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet. Sweet. We'll keep in checking in there.
Yeah. We'll catch more of that.
Yeah, but now
So-
talking. Yeah, no, you go ahead. You wanted to talk
No,
about.
I was going to say, not that Oleg's managed to watch it yet, but Drive to Survive,
Yes.
that third series, is just brilliant.
Mm.
They've got their cameras in all sorts of places now. They're capturing so much footage that they can splice together reactions and scenes that supports everything.
Yeah.
It's not about. You don't have to be a Formula One fan at all. This is drama.
Yeah. Sure.
And but the sound, even the driver whispering in the cockpit at the end of a race, they've managed to get that out without any background noise, considering how loud those cars are.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
But the whole cinematography is so well done.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so well done.
Yeah.
They've clearly learned from series 1 and 2 that 3 is just
How to package
brilliant.
it. Yeah, how to
Yeah.
package it. Yeah, it just seems to get better. But and I mean the reality is that there's so much other stuff that they didn't include in the series that they could have. They could have actually made 20 episodes, 10 more episodes, right? Or they could have part 2. They could have part 1 and part 2. I mean, they could actually like have released part 1 now, and 6 months from now, in the middle of the Formula One season, just to keep everyone still hyped up about it, released another 10 episodes, a part 2, because there's so
Absolutely.
much content that they
But
didn't
I like
cover.
the fact that they didn't do like one episode as one Grand Prix weekend.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
They've done it as stories.
Yeah.
That spans different weekends and different contexts. So it's
That's
almost
right,
a per team kind of story.
Yeah.
What I'm
And I
gonna do
think-
is I'm gonna start from season 3.
No.
You got to do season 1 and
no.
2.
You got to see how it builds.
Yeah, but Lester, I think the comment there is that I think COVID created that kind of situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's
Partly.
helped a lot. They've changed the
Because-
whole schedule and they had a lot to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I mentioned this before. They had to, because of the bubbles that they work in and how they manage the COVID thing. The actual Netflix crew was with that that team, I think, for the whole season.
How many?
I'm not too sure.
Netflix people are there? Have they
I don't
got
know.
traveling around?
Because I
with the
think what they were
circles?
doing, like they were reusing people that were already in the team, like the team photographer, to assist with that. I think, I don't know, I'll speak under correction, but
That would
I
make
think-
sense.
yeah, I think that because of the bubble thing, they had to film it differently, or yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
There's not a lot of space in the pit lane, right? There's massive teams, and they're all in a very congested space with all the gear
yeah,
and all the press and VIPs, and you haven't got a lot of space there
Yeah.
for additional camera crews and things.
but that's
So-
why even the sort of like Sky TV presenters and all that last year were not even allowed in the pit lane. They weren't even allowed on. I
Maybe
don't
they
even
upset
think they were.
people.
I don't even think they were allowed on the track. The actual presenters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, there's a lot of them, right? So there's not just the journalists. We're talking about those that stream the actual game.
Game. Yeah.
To stream the actual
Big
events.
game.
Football
the
match, dude.
presenters are all ex-drivers or whatever they are, and there's different channels that do it. So the UK has Sky and it has other, but
Yeah.
Germany has different ones, France has different ones, Spain has different ones. If you start throwing each of these crews in there, there's nowhere to move. I think it's going to start going the way that Olympics went, because Olympics, you got all these nations who want to have their own footage streamed to their own home-based TV networks.
Yeah.
They want control over the quality and the footage. Whereas the Olympics just went, you know what, we got to the point where this is no longer sustainable. We'll have Olympic broadcasting services. You all get the same footage. There will be a ton of it, so you can choose different streams depending on your country, and that's how they've done it.
Yeah.
That's why in the stadiums you hardly see any cameras.
Yeah. No, it's true. No, that's it. And I think that's where Formula One does it as well, actually, because they have. I mean, think about, and it's so funny because this weekend they're busy getting ready for a race, and yesterday they were doing free practice. They had a technical issue, excuse me, and there was an accident. And no one can tell what happened in the accident because they've got no footage and no radio communication or anything about it, because
that's going to make Series 4 of Drive to Survive pretty rubbish.
No, it was just like for a couple of hours. They were having some technical issues with their broadcast system and the radio, input radio, car to pit radio communications, because it's all done through the same system. It's basically one system. So all the teams are, all their radios for each of the teams is done through the F1 communication system. And it went down. So no one had radio comms. And there was no video footage or anything like that. No onboard cameras for the cars. So they had this accident and no one can say what actually happened in the accident.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
But it shows you.
I would think every angle is covered.
They're hiding something.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.